Welcome, everyone, to a special Saturday episode of Let's Talk Broncos. We're about to preview the Monday night game against the Chargers. Guys, how are you?
I'm doing really good. I'm enjoying this weekend coming up and everything like that. I'm just happy that the week is over and I'm able to chill and have a good couple days.
Yeah, I'm excited. My computer's spazzing out for a second, but I'm I'm excited for just this upcoming game. Hopefully, it isn't a miserable one.
Bri, we should our next betting show. We should do over unders on Zach's computer spazzing out on the season.
Yeah, for the remainder of the season, second half predictions, bold predictions. If you missed that episode, you can go ahead and go back and watch Friday's bold predictions for the Broncos and the Chargers game. Everyone seems to be excited for this game. I'm a little worried. We're back on primetime. The Denver Broncos are getting their hand at another Monday night football game. I don't know how I feel about it anymore. We will get into that. But Joey, did you have something else?
I just wanted to give Zach credit, though, on the other hand. He has some nice decorations put up in the back, so round of applause to Zach there. I'm happy about that. He has who is that again on the calendar? You told me the other day.
I had a real Bill Thompson moment because I don't know who this Bronco is, but he was good enough to make the calendar. Jim Ryan.
Jim Ryan. Everybody knows Jim Ryan.
Jim Ryan, all-time Bronco great. I always say, he really should have made the Ring of Fame. I'm always, petitioning for it, and one of these days we'll break through.
Let's just put everybody in the Ring of Fame. Who's not in the Ring of Fame that you guys would think would be the next man up?
Jim Ryan.
Jim Ryan. We should invite Jim Ryan on the pod. Demaryius Thomas. DT, that's my answer. My favorite Bronco of all time. DT deserves a spot on that Ring of Fame. I'm throwing out that rule of how many years you have to be out of the league, whatever. I'm putting DT in there. Awesome player. A lot of great moments as a Bronco. I don't think there's another guy I'd put in before him.
Considering the year thing, I don't think Peyton Manning's in the Ring of Fame yet. Or am I totally misremembering? He's got to be one of the.
Mike Shanahan in, so I think Peyton would be the next one up.
Elvis Dumervil, I think, would be another name to definitely throw out. I don't think he's in there yet. And awesome pass rusher, all-time NFL great pass rusher. Maybe not a Hall of Fame player, but a Hall of Very Good player. And I think that's what the Ring of Fame is for. Probably is a lifetime Bronco if they don't mess up the facts.
We might have to edit this all out because Peyton Manning is indeed in the Ring of Fame. They put him in last year.
I think I blocked that out because that was an embarrassing game in front of Peyton Manning, and it's this is a traumatic experience. So
we'll take it with a grain of salt. I think that's a great conversation for all of us to have. Sorry, Zach, you were cutting out. I was just going to talk right over you. Let's get into it. I think that we have lots to cover here. First and foremost, I want to jump into a Broncos injury update. The list gets longer and longer and longer as we get updates as to who is going to be out and who is trending to play on Monday. Guys, any shockers on that list? Any anticipations for being able to play here on Monday night?
Zach, if you want to take it, you can go ahead, man.
I think we're going to see, Billy Turner. I think that's exciting. I think we're going to see, I think there's a decent chance you see Quinn Miners, Justin Simmons, of course, coming back. So it is getting longer in some ways, but you're getting some bodies back. You're getting Greg Dulcich, Justin Outen talked about on Friday, getting him incorporated into the offense. And I think, and again, I have so little faith in this offensive coaching staff to actually execute what they say, but he said the right thing. So, that's checkbox number one. Let's see if they execute it, which is, hey, you can't put everything on this kid's plate all at once because he hasn't practiced everything. You've got to put on a little bit at a time and see what he can do and so on and so forth. So it might be a very limited package, but I hope you're seeing some sort of package for Greg Dulcich, even if it's 4 or 5 plays or something, he could add something to that tight end room that currently doesn't exist because Albert Okwuegbunam has been sent off to exile with Napoleon Bonaparte. That's you're getting a little healthier, but and I do think if you get Quinn Miners and Billy Turner back, it'll kind of balance out the left side of the line. But then all of a sudden, maybe you have Calvin Anderson and Graham Glasgow on the left side, or Natani Muti, and who knows how Natani Muti looks in real action. And then all of a sudden, okay, the right side's healthy, but now the left side's in shambles. It's like whack-a-mole.
It really is. So to Zach's point, he was just talking about the offensive line. The only two do not participate through both of these Thursday and Fridays, Josie Jewell and Dalton Reisner. Obviously, two starters for the Broncos, two guys that play a big part. That Jewell thing, oh my God, it's so sad, right? Because I was looking forward to seeing him more this season. We didn't get to see him almost all last year. He didn't start the season. He got in and he looked great in his first game. It was a guy that we were all really excited about. So that's a blow. I think Alex Singleton is a capable, backup middle linebacker. I don't think he's a starting caliber, but as a backup, he's pretty good. He can step in there and play a little bit. Some of the just limited participants, Jonathan Cooper, Melvin Gordon, Damari Mathis, Quinn Miners, Darius Phillips, Mike Purcell. Or no, Mike Purcell wasn't, or Darius Phillips. It was Quinn Miners, Damari Mathis, Melvin Gordon, and Jonathan Cooper. Those were your limited participants. I guess I would just really want to see Quinn Miners out there. That's my big one. I would love to see Quinn Miners out there playing football again, man. Pound for pound, I think he steps in right off an injury, and he's probably already your best offensive lineman, especially now that Garrett Bowles is injured, right? Like Quinn Miners can step in and be that guy right away. So that's the guy I'm watching the most.
If Calvin Anderson can play how he has in his two starts at left tackle, the Panthers game, and then that was 2 years ago, and then the Cowboys game last year, and you get Quinn Miners back and Billy Turner back, there's a good chance this line is better despite losing Garrett Bowles. And that's not, they're better because they lost Garrett Bowles. That's just offensive line is a position where I don't think it's about one guy. It's about minimizing weak links. And if Anderson can be serviceable on the left side, which I don't think is unreasonable, and Quinn Miners on the right side, and Billy Turner is serviceable on the right side, which again I think is reasonable. I think it could 100% be a better overall line. Not a good line, mind you, but a better one.
Absolutely. And then we did hear from Russell Wilson that his arm is getting better every day. That would be his throwing shoulder. That's obviously the type of attitude that you were expecting. No one's going to say, you know what, it's just not feeling right today. So I'm happy to hear that it is getting better, and every day we should see improvement out of that. I don't know how that's going to affect the game as much, but I guess there will be some limitations there. Also to note, Baron Browning and PJ Locke were full participants as well. I think that's important to note there. Joey, I cut you off, I think, right before your final thought.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this injury report, and I guess, do you guys mind? Do you guys have much else to say about the injuries?
Nope.
I was just looking at the injury report here, and a player just popped up, Latavius Murray. Obviously, the Broncos signed him. He didn't play last week. Do we expect much from Latavius Murray? Do we expect any carries from him this next week or playing time?
Oh, yeah. I think you're going to see him. It's not going to be the same size of a role that Javonte Williams had, but I think he's going to take on the role of like the power back in this offense. He's going to, add a physical component. I think you're going to see him a lot in short yardage. Melvin Gordon has been used there, but I think now they probably trust Latavius Murray's vision a little more than Javonte Williams in like those gotta have it situations. So I think you'll see him some there. They said that he's picked up the offense and pass protections and everything really quickly. Who knows if that's just lip service, but I do think you'll see a lot of him. I still think you'll see a good bit of Mike Boone. But yeah, I think reps will be split between those three guys, and that Murray will have a healthy share. I don't think he's going to only get like 5 reps or something.
So now that we know who will be playing on Monday, or at least who's trending to play, let's go ahead and get into who we think the player of the game is going to be on Monday. Do either of you want to go first?
I'll go. My player of the game, I'm going with, and shock to everybody, I know. I'm building up the suspension right now. This is an absolute shock to everybody. Patrick Surtain. No, he's just the awesome player. I think right now when the Broncos are suffering from a lot of movement and different pieces going up front, like my bet, if I was a betting man, I'm taking the best player on the Broncos. I'm going with Patrick Surtain. Do we know if Keenan Allen's going to play? Do we know if he's trending away? I saw he was a limited participant in both of the days, but I don't know if that's
unspecified. I don't have
I'll
any more.
look it up right now.
Okay, but yeah, like another guy, and I said this against DK Metcalf, but Mike Williams is the same type of deal. Surtain is built physically to be a guy that can defend the DK Metcalfs, the Mike Williams. Mike Williams is one of the best 50-50 balls, if not the best 50-50 ball receiver. Just go up and pluck it out of the air guy in all of the NFL. Not much of a separator. What was that?
It does look like Keenan Allen's expected to play.
Is he? Okay. Well, Mike Williams. No, it's going to be a team effort for the Broncos, especially with Damari Mathis being limited participant. But I do think that Patrick Surtain is a really good fit or a really good matchup against a Mike Williams, a really physical receiver that can go up and get the ball out of the air almost as good as anybody in the league. If he's not the best in the league at just that, he's not a great separator, but he doesn't have to separate because that's how tall and how well he is to high point the football and make ridiculous catches, one-handed, all different types of things. I'm going with Patrick Surtain, though. I just think that matchup against him is really good. And hey, he got a pick against Justin Herbert already. Let's do it again.
Oh man, I'm going between two players right now. You know what? No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get burned again. I'm not going to get burned again.
You're going to say,
I'm going to go Bradley Chubb. I'm not going to go with what I want to see. I'm going to go with what I really think, and that's Bradley Chubb. He's been such an X factor on this defense, how Ejiro Evero's been able to use him. Baron Browning's been remarkable too. But this Chargers offensive line rather is a suspect. It's going to be vulnerable, and the Broncos are happy to attack it. Surprisingly, Justin Herbert currently ranks like 31 out of 35 quarterbacks this season when pressured, according to EPA, or maybe it's when blitzed. But either way, and the Broncos love to blitz and heat up the pocket. And so I think they're going to try to expose that flaw in the Chargers offense that has existed so far. And Bradley Chubb has just been such a huge component to that all season. Last game he went off. And I think that'll continue this week as he heads toward a huge contract extension. Unfortunately, probably not from the Broncos in the near future. Or not contract, it's a new contract, but lucrative either way.
Doug, God, I don't like the way that you said that whatsoever. I hate it, actually. Not a fan. I think both of those are great choices. Joey obviously stole my first choice in Patrick Surtain. I would go him more often than not. There's a gnat flying around, and he's in my field of vision, so pardon me there. I think Patrick Surtain, and I said this on my bold predictions, I just think he has Justin Herbert's number, and I don't see how we don't see big action from him as well. But maybe we go with what I want to see. If Zach's not going to go there, I'm going to go there. I'm hoping for the run game to figure something out with Quinn being back. I hope that kind of opens up something. I hope that leads to a potential of the Broncos really leaning into that. I think that it'll help the offense with Russell Wilson maybe being a little bit sore and maybe not feeling at the best to his abilities. I'm not looking for really long bombs to KJ Hamler, Cortland Sutton. So I think the run game is really going to have to step in here. We haven't seen it happen thus far. And with the injuries to the room, I think that I would just like to see something big happen out of them, whether it be Melvin Gordon or Latavius Murray. So that's my player to watch, or player of the game is going to be, I'm going to have to lean into Melvin Gordon. Like, I think that's the guy I'm trusting with the ball. I know it's going to irk people who think that I'm just being a little bit of a homer, but I think the necessity is he's the guy who's going to get that ball, especially in the red zone. And I hope he scores a touchdown. I'm just watching for him to make an impact. And that's only because you guys took the two other players I'd like to see do really well. Zach, I am curious though, who is that other player going to be?
There were a couple in consideration. Justin Simmons in consideration. To Joey's point, I think filling in for Ronald Darby is going to be a group effort by the secondary. I think you're going to have Patrick Surtain isolated on Mike Williams a lot, removing him from the equation. And I think it's going to be on everyone else. Justin Simmons, I think, maybe being the biggest part of that. Outside of Damari Mathis, of course, filling in for Ronald Darby. And so I want to see Justin Simmons have a big game. He's actually had big games kind of consistently against Justin Herbert, had an interception against him last season in that matchup. So maybe that continues. And then I would like to see a Russ breakout. And I think there's a decent chance maybe the torn lat really was an issue the last 2 weeks. The offense is maybe – I think you saw the offense start working for everyone else last week, where like there were all the open receivers. And it was so frustrating that Wilson was missing them. But like it seemed to be working for the other people. And as bad as Wilson was in week 5, and he was horrifically bad, the other 4 games, to Joey's point earlier this week, it really did kind of reach the frame. Like the other 4 weren't that bad. They were not good whatsoever, but they weren't to that catastrophic level. And so I don't know. I think I'm hopeful it can look like early on in that Raiders game before maybe the torn lat injury happened, and you can see something against the Chargers defense that's been honestly really bad this year. They added all these pieces, and it just has not made the difference for them. That coverage has been shoddy. J.C. Jackson has been victimized by opponents all year long. This is another week, I think even more so than the Colts week, because the Colts front just dominated the Broncos front. The Broncos should be able to take advantage of this defense, rather, especially when you have like this mini bye, lots of time to rest whatever shoulder injury was bothering Russ, more time to like reflect on what's going wrong on offense and how do you fix it. Like, and you're getting reinforcements on the offensive line. Yes, of course, you lost Garrett Bowles, but Bowles, I think, wasn't playing his best football. And I don't know. If it doesn't happen this week, it's going to be really dire for the rest of the season. And I really want it to happen. I feel more confident in the Chubb and Simmons ones. But I think there's a decent chance we're all like singing a different tune Tuesday, even if it's not like, oh my God, hallelujah, but just like, hey, it's okay.
I love it. I really do. And I just wanted to point out, though, I have a little bit of a concern with my player of the game due to injury as well. Zach, do you have anything to update as far as Melvin Gordon goes with a neck/rib concern?
Yeah, I think they're just being cautious there. I don't think it's been that big of an issue in practice. I don't have like super great sourcing on that, but generally, the really concerning ones are talked about a lot in the pressers, like Dalton Reisner and whatnot. Like I'm pretty dodgy about whether or not Dalton Reisner plays this game. But Melvin Gordon's not one I'm very concerned about.
All right, I feel better. Let's hop into because as soon as I said it, I was like, if he plays. Let's go ahead and get into score predictions. Let's see how Monday night goes ahead and settles itself out. I am shockingly not going with the Broncos here. I think they dropped this one. Monday Night Football, primetime football. I don't think enough is going to change around. I think that there will be improvement, but I cannot guarantee a win here, folks. I'm going 24-21 Chargers football.
Okay, Bri. I see it. You're taking my role here. I don't know whether no. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm in lockstep with Bri right now, pretty much. I'm going with a little bit of a different score, but I'm picking the Broncos to lose. And I just think that if I were doing a pick 'em and I wasn't a Broncos fan, I would be picking the Chargers. It's just a safer pick. Like, if I'm being honest with myself there, the Broncos haven't shown me much to this point. Just last week, they had their worst offensive performance in my mind of to date. So why would I go against an even better team in Chargers away? I have to go with the Chargers. I'm going 24-17 Chargers.
The NFL's weird. I think the Broncos win this week. I think this is going to be a painful team all season. I don't think they're going to give us a clean answer like, hey, guys, we just suck. I think it's going to be kind of weird all year. I texted you guys after the loss to the Raiders. Like, yeah, they'll beat the Colts next week and everyone will get excited, and then they'll lose to the Chargers and they'll lose to the Jets and everyone will be concerned, and then they'll beat the Jags. Like, and I reversed the order of those two. They lost to the Colts after the Raiders lost to get everyone miserable. And I think they'll win this one, look good. There'll be some light at the end of the tunnel, and then they'll just lay an egg against the Jets or something weird. It's a weird team. I think it's a very, very talented team, and the defense is so well coached right now. I think the defense is the best unit on the field by a wide margin. I don't think the Chargers offense has lived up to expectations. I don't think the Chargers defense has been as big a disappointment as the Broncos offense. And yeah, I think the Broncos defense can win this one, and you see a little spark on offense. I'll say Broncos win 2017.
I think we're all across the board. It's interesting, though. We're all within about those 3 points. The point spread is 4.5. The Broncos are, I believe, plus 188 in most books, and the over-under is at 45.5. Good thing this isn't a Thursday night football game, because we'd all be betting the under. That is past our time. We are over with that. Thank you. See you again some other time, Colts. But yeah. I don't know if they pull it off. I really hope they do. I'd like to be excited about it. And I would like to sing a different tune on Tuesday, Zach. I think I like the way that you put that. Whatever happens with this game, let's hope it's a momentum shift that the Denver Broncos need moving into the rest of this season. That'll about do it, folks. So we're going to jump into your favorite time of the night, and that's Joey's question of the day. Although I think we're going to switch it up tonight, and I'm going to give the guys a question of the day. Okay. This was actually brought on by Thursday Night Football when I didn't think either team was going to score any points. I wanted to see, what's the breakdown of points in the NFL since the merger happened. So given past that point, my question to you guys is what's the most common score to happen in the NFL?
Ooh. Is it closest wins?
Yeah, we could do that, and then I'll give you the reasoning why. But yeah.
Okay. And then No, you go first. Do you want
a hint? Well, not a hint, but I'll say this score has occurred 3 times in the 2020 season, and it's happened an average of 3 times per season over the last 3 years. Yet in 2017, a total of 8 games finished with this score. What score is it?
It's happened 3 times a season, roughly. Mm-hmm. 10-9. Maybe I'm going too big there, but
wow.
Wait, this is the most uncommon or common?
This is the most common.
Oh wait, the most common? I thought it was something about low scoring. Shoot, I totally missed it.
I was like, 10-9. No, you gotta run with it.
Let me restart. 27-24. That's my final answer.
So, what was it?
27-24.
27-24. I'm going with. Ooh, that's a good one, Zach. I think I might have gone.
I don't think I'm right. I think it's too generic. I think it's too basic. I think it's a little off of there.
I'm going 17-24.
Ooh.
Neither is correct. I will say 27-24 is the second most common score in the NFL. The most common is actually 2017. Which is shocking to me because I would have guessed 27-24 as well. So,
okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna do before Zach stole it from me. I feel like all of my you guys can go back and watch all my game previews. They're all gonna be, I think, except for one has been. This just shows how much thought I put into this right here. It's all been 24-17, either the Broncos or the other team.
It's a good strategy.
You accountable. Next time I'm holding you accountable. Now you guys know, though, your chances of hitting it is actually pretty high if you just do 2017 each time.
Yeah, you're going to hear me go 2017 from here on out.
Let the record show that's my prediction for this week's game, and I did that before the fun fact.
It was a pretty fun fact of the day. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Gentlemen, tell everyone where they can find your stuff.
Everyone, go follow me at JR Giraffes. Find my writing at Mile High Sports. Listen to Frankie and I's halftime spaces during the game. We are going to be doing that. Yeah, Zach, go ahead, man.
Yeah, milehighsports.com, game preview already up. And then, yeah, that's it. Zach_Seegers for more Little Broncos tidbits.
More Little Broncos tidbits. They're more like big tidbits, Zach. You got to give them some sort of credit.
That's true. I'm always max character count, so they're big tidbits, but you know.
You said you were wording, not me. You can follow me over on Twitter, BriMastis303. You can catch me on the Fan Cave 1 to 2 p.m. on Mondays for Mile High Sports Radio, and then every day here with Joey and Zach for Let's Talk Broncos. We are out of here for today. We won't have an episode on Monday because that's the Broncos game, but we will be back on Tuesday to talk Broncos with you again next week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Let's go Broncos.